Hey traders, hope you guys are all doing well. I just want to show you guys this really potent strategy that I've been using over the past couple of months. And I've shared it with a few people, and they're really getting some good results with it. And, I've actually taken about 7 or 8 wins in a row with the strategy over the last several weeks. And it's like super accurate. It's just unbelievable how good the strategy is. And it's just it's a retail strategy that we can take advantage of. So you can take advantage of this for absolute free. And what it basically involves is it involves two indicators, one being a liquidity indicator, and the other one I'm going to show you later because we're going to use that for the confirmation for entry. It's very simple. So as you know in the market, normally after liquidity has been grabbed, normally we get a nice reversal in the market. So if we look over here, we can see here's a bundle of liquidity sitting over here. The indicator's marked it off. So we get a push, we grab liquidity, then we normally get a reversal back inside this sort of range of where the origin of the move started. All right, so back into this pool, somewhere in the mid-range, before price continues, or it might even reverse completely. But normally, as you can see over here, we have another liquidity pool over here. We get a breakout, we get a liquidity grab, and then price falls back at least below or back to this liquidity line, which is a really good trade to take. So what you firstly want to do is you want to add this indicator here. It's liquidity swings by Lux Algo. So you just come here to indicators, you type in liquidity, and you just add this one here, liquidity swings by Lux Algo. It's got 32K or so people that are using it. I think that's what that number is for. Okay, you just want to add that to your chart. Now under the settings, if we just come to this gear icon here, you want to change the look back. I think the standard look back is 14 or something like that. So you want to change it anywhere between 40 and 45. The reason for that is you want to be looking for major liquidity in the market. Okay, you want to have all these settings the same as mine, and you want to have the label size as normal. Because if you set them on anything lower than this, tiny or small, they're too small to see. Because that's going to show you the amount of liquidity. Okay, so we can see here, the higher the number, the more liquidity is resting, at those levels. So we can see over here, we've got 4.16K liquidity sitting up here. We get a liquidity grab, but as you can see over here, we've got 10K liquidity up here. So price might actually go up to this level and skip this level, go up to this level, grab liquidity here, and then reverse. So that's where the amount actually helps you in determining, the amount of liquidity and whether to take that to look at this level as a liquidity grab level or to wait for the next liquidity level. Okay, so that's the first one. Now, for example, at this level here, so as you can see down here, I've got an alert set over here. That's because there's a liquidity level down here. Okay, down over here, there's a major liquidity. So I've got an alert set there, and I'm going to actually also set an alert at this level. So this is the next step. You must, after you've decided on a couple of these liquidity levels, you want to put alerts at these levels. So simply like this, you just want to add an alert. Okay, on the free plan, I think you get a maximum of 3. So I'm actually using my 3 at the moment. I've got 1 on ETH, on Ethereum, and 2 on Bitcoin. Okay, so that's the first step. So you want to go to the hourly chart. Don't go lower than the 15-minute, I'd say. Either the hourly or the 15-minute. But if you want the major liquidity grabs, I like to use the hourly time frame. Okay, so we're going to set our alerts at the levels. All right, now, if we look at an example, let me just show you. So over here, let's say, for example, we had an alert set at this liquidity level, right? What we're then going to do is we're going to wait for that alert to be hit. Okay, so we can see here the market breaks out. Okay, that shoots up. Okay, now as it's shooting up, this is where I just want to show you how we would get in on this entry to actually ride this move down. Okay, so how can we catch a move back down which is going to reach at least this line over here, the breakout line. I'm just going to show you guys. So what you want to do next is you want to come down to your 15-minute time frame. Now I'm just going to show you, as you can see, it does give liquidity levels on the 15-minute time frame as well. As you can see, on Thursday, I think it was, we had a liquidity line over here, and check how price broke that liquidity, and now the price has reversed all the way up. We've got current liquidity here, but as you'll see, after liquidity is broken, you normally get a turn back in the market. Here it didn't happen, but quite often it will happen. But I'm just going to show you what I use for confirmation, so you don't actually get stopped out as the price is waiting to build up for that reversal. So what you want to do is, let's look at this shaded box. So how would we actually get into this move over here? So here we see, okay, price is broken above all this liquidity, it's shooting up. Now how do we get in? This is where you want to add the alligator onto your chart. Alright, so we're going to come here simply into indicators. Now we're going to type in alligator. Okay, we're going to just simply add the Williams alligator onto your chart, okay, which is this one here. So let's just remove, and I will leave it up there. So as you can see, with the alligator, you've got to wait for a crossover to happen between all the moving averages on the alligator. So on this alligator, you can see it's got 3 moving averages. You've got the jaw, teeth, and lips. The jaw is 13, the lips are 5, and the teeth offset are 5, or 3, should I say. Now, so once you get that liquidity grab, as you can see, the alligator is still bullish. You want to wait till you get a bearish flip on the alligator. So you want to wait till these 3 moving averages are fanning to the downside. Now, so I'll wait for the liquidity grab, then I'll drop down either to a 5-minute or even a 2-minute time frame. On my MetaTrader 5, you can actually customize your MetaTrader 5 to use a 2-minute time frame. Now, as you can see over here, so all that liquidity, we can't see it now because it's giving us more liquidity levels on the lower time frame, but that hourly liquidity was grabbed. Now what we want to do is drop down to the M5 or something like this. Now let's just remove that away. So once you get this fanning right over here of the alligator, this over here, you see this fanning over here. That's where you want to start looking to enter. As you can see, as the price is, a lot of traders, as the price is breaking out, a lot of traders would be thinking, oh, we've getting wicks over here, so let's go bearish, let's take a sell, or let's take a sell, let's take a sell. Even on the 15-minute, you can see traders would get faked into the market and have to sit through all this drawdown. But if you wait for this alligator confirmation, then you're actually going to get in, not right at the top, but you're going to still get in at a nice area in the market where you can ride this whole move, you know, back down. I mean, this is like 100 pips at least, you know. So if I show you another example of this over here, so that was one that I took over there. Now there's another one, where was this? I even took this one yesterday, but I'll just show you this one here. So we get, just going to mark this off. Okay, so let's drop down to a 5-minute time frame. Let me just show you. So this, here's the liquidity level. We would have had an alert set there. Price breaks above that liquidity level. Okay, now we're going to start looking on the 5-minute time frame for an entry. So now we can have the alligator up on our chart and actually look for a 5-minute entry. Okay, so here we go. Here's the next one over here. So as price is breaking up, the alligator's keeping you out of those trades. It's keeping you out of the market. So I think the liquidity grab was here at this level. So as price is moving up, you can see the alligator's fanned out. Now you're waiting for the alligator to give you a signal to the opposite way, to the sell side. So we get a sell signal over here. sometimes the price will push up and give a bullish one, but then you want to wait for a second bearish one, because that'll be like a double top. Okay, so either you would have been taken this one here and had your stop above here. What I like to sometimes do though is wait for a bit of a pullback and wait for a second bearish alligator to form. So here's the first alligator over here. It actually flips bullish again here, but then we get a second alligator fanning over here. Okay, so you could also enter here as well. Okay, as it starts to fan bearish. I'll show you a better example of that here on the... But that was still a massive move down. Even today, you can see here we get this bullish liquidity grab over here. Now we just want to drop down to either to the 5-minute or 15-minute. So see over here, we get... Just move this over to the side. So the liquidity grab happens. Now we're staying out of the market until we start to see a bearish alligator forming. Now you can see the first one that formed was here. See that fanning over here? We can see the market's put in like a double top. That would have been fine to enter here, then you would have gone into a bit of drawdown. Or you could have entered on this third alligator over here, and then the market starts to dump. So I think I got in, I think it was this third one that I took, because I woke up and I saw the notification that liquidity had been grabbed. I got the alert, and then I saw this third alligator, and the price just melted after that. And I got out just before market close, and I just basically took that scalp profit. So you can use this liquidity indicator either for reversals or for trend continuation. So I'll just show you this over here, right? So here, if we see here, the market is pushing up on the hourly. Okay, so all the way from the bottom here, the market is pushing up. Now here we get, at this point here, we get a trend continuation. So this over here is sell side liquidity, and here we get a liquidity grab over here. Then the market pushes up. So if we just leave that highlighted, you'll see that on the 15-minute time frame, you would have seen this liquidity. As you can see over here, there was 3.211k liquidity over here. So as the price grabs that liquidity, okay, then we're looking for that alligator to the upside. So we would have waited on we just mark this off. So as you can see, it's giving good trend continuations on the 15-minute time frame in terms of the liquidity, which you can use. So for trend continuations, you want to use that 15-minute liquidity. And for reversals, you want to use the hourly liquidity. And so if we go to the 5-minute, so for this trend continuation, it would have grabbed this liquidity basically over here. Okay, and then we get that fanning of the alligator to the upside. We even get a second one over here, and this is where we could have entered, and then this price just shoots up. So it really helps with your entry in terms of like not getting in too early and getting in. You don't get in right at the bottom, but at least you get a safe entry after these liquidity grabs have been triggered, instead of you getting in early and just getting stopped out, as the market goes against you. So it's just like a safer entry to use this alligator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to code this into an EA robot and then actually use it as a robot for a while. See how it performs as a robot. Instead of using, if you watch my previous video, I used the parabolic SAR as the confirmation, but I think I'm going to put this alligator, try it with the alligator and see if it can code in, see if the logic can change to this alligator and see if it gives me earlier entries and cleaner entries. I don't think it really will 100%, but maybe it'll improve it slightly. We'll have to see on the back testing results. But anyway, guys, hope this video gave you some great insight into how I trade liquidity grabs the safe way and not getting in early and you know, getting stopped out too early after a breakout happens, because often when a breakout happens, after a liquidity grab happens, traders will hop in way too early and just get stopped out, you know. So a lot of the time traders would have seen this as liquidity, and then they start to see pin bars and things like that, and they get in, and they get in way too early, and then the market still pushes up. But if you wait for that alligator, you see here's that liquidity grab over here, so you can see it would have been this one. If you just wait for that alligator to turn, then you're getting in at a safer entry. So I hope this video gave you some insight, guys. Please subscribe, please like, please share the knowledge. Appreciate it. Leave a comment, and I'll post another video next on the robot that I'm making. As I said, it's got 3 modes. It's got breakout mode, it's got liquidity grab mode, and it's got a scalping mode. I'm just refining it and adding a whole bunch of more like risk features and things that can improve the equity curve. It's going to be a really great robot once it's finished. Anyway, guys, have a great week ahead. Cheers.